Dennis Allen adjusted the defense, and they came back in the second half and completely shut them down. Now, here's what you need to understand about the defense. San Francisco game in the second half, they only gave up 3 points. Okay, I'm going to break this down for you so that people will realize the defense is contributing. Okay, against Seattle, they only gave up 6 points in the second half. Okay, against Kansas City, they only gave up 6 points in the second half. Okay, they didn't do well against Carolina. They had 3 pass interferences that led to 21 points. So if you take that away against Carolina, those penalties, then they probably would have only given them 7 points of some field goals. Okay, if you go even further back against the San Diego Chargers, they only gave up 6 points in the second half. They did not give up any points in the second half or any touchdowns, anything. I think they gave up maybe 3 or 6 points against the Giants in the second half of that game. And then the Raiders game, they held them to 10 points all the way to the fourth quarter. So what many people don't realize, I'm sorry, they scored, the Raiders scored 22. The Raiders had 30. Yeah, the Raiders scored 25 in the second half. They held the Raiders to 13 points through 3 quarters. So what you have is a defense that has played about 18 to 21 good quarters out of 32. And so whereas the offense is also contributing, the defense has been contributing. It may not show up in their rankings at this time. It may not show up in the stats. But when you are holding teams to less than 7 points in the second half of games, you're going to start winning games. And that's what this defense has been doing. And so whereas I've been critical of the defense and harsh, but I sometimes stood up for this defense over the last 2 years in terms of that some of these losses were not all on them. I'm proud to say, as I've been telling people, the defense has not played terrible all year. The defense, you can see the improvement, and they're doing it. They had 2 people to come back. Devin Bro, we welcome him back.
Right.
And Sheldon. So that was great to have him back. Ellaby, we're hoping that we can get him back and he can get healthy, and get back, because we need all hands on deck as we go through these last 8 games. But overall, with this team, considering the injuries they have, Dennis Allen has really been doing a great job with the hands that he has to, that have been thrown to him. And to see this defense and make that adjustment after, they gave up such huge chunks of yardage in this game in the first half, it was great to see. So my overall grade for them was a C-. They went up from an F- to C- because they just gave up too much yardage to Colin Kaepernick for me to go any higher. But I was very happy with how they turned around. And what can we say? Craig Robinson needs to be on the ballot for Pro Bowl. He has really, really become the steal of this free agency draft of defensive players and his contribution. And Nate Stupar is beginning to come right back behind him.
Yeah.
So now definitely. I don't know what they're going to do in this game, because I understand Stephon Anthony and Marty are both going to be out for this game. So I guess Ellaby is healthy for this game, and Laurinaitis is gone for the season. So they're banged up at linebacker.
Yeah.
In some cases. So.
But Ellaby, he was limited in practice today, but it's not going to be any different than last game as well, because we were without Anthony as well as Marty. Both of those guys were not really highly productive. Marty only played in special teams I believe last week. So, but anyway, I think right now, man, if the Saints defensive backs are going to be highly critical for this game, because you still have Thomas and you have Sanders that you have to contend with, man. So we cannot overlook them, as well as that other young man, Ellis, I believe his name. So we're just going to have to continue the stellar play of bending, not breaking. And think about it, Professor. We have only allowed 11 touchdown passes to be given up halfway through the season, when last year we had 45 for the whole season. So I think they're doing an outstanding job as well.
Yeah, that is really great. From 45 to 11. That means, and I have to be the first, I have to give the secondary coach, I have to give him kudos for an outstanding job, because the Saints don't have a lot of sacks. So I have to give kudos to, the secondary coach unit and Dennis Allen. That's really, really great.
And you know what? Also, I like Professor, man, and these guys are creating some fumbles. Vaccaro, Stupar, even Von Bell. I mean, these guys are really forcing some fumbles out there. And that interception by Craig Robinson, and then past couple of weeks we had Stupar making some pretty good contributions at the linebacking core. It's really, really good to see how these guys are kind of resembling our guys from 2006 and 2009. They're unheralded linebackers, but they're making contributions.
Yeah, we have 9 turnovers in the last 6 games, and that is much, much more production than the Saints have had in the past couple of years with turnovers. So it is really great and outstanding play that we have there. In terms of the secondary, Kyle has already stated, so I don't need to belate that point about how great they're playing, but I'm going to get into a breaking story that's going to be not so great in terms of Kenny Vaccaro, and I'll be talking about that in a second. So overall with the defense and everyone and the way they play, I just would like for them to make sure the big plays stop giving it up, because they gave up 2 big plays against Kansas City, and then we had 2 big plays in this game. So they've got to stop giving up the big plays, because that is breaking the back. And one thing I would like them to improve, when the Saints score a touchdown or even a field goal, it seems that right after the Saints scores, they let teams drive right back down the field, which kills the momentum. So when the offense scores, you've got to come out fired up, and you cannot let the opposing opponent go right back down the field after you scored. So those are some of the notes that I was making with them, that as soon as the Saints score, they let the team then come right back down. So
yeah, it's almost like they relax too much, huh, Professor? It's like, oh man, we scored, we can chill out for a second. Oh man, they scored, we gotta get back to work.
Yeah. Nick Fairley and Cam. Nick has kind of cooled down. Mm-hmm. I'm not, he's not getting as many sacks, so I need them to. And Sheldon Rankins played, no big, his first game, nothing major to write about, but it's just good to have the minutes. He feels his way through, and hopefully this game he'll feel even more comfortable when he begins to make plays. But having him, Fairley, and Cam, I would like to see, them more, because I was just a little alarmed in that first half, because the 49ers offense is not big play, and they made the Saints look very, very shallow. You're not going to be able to play like that when you play the Arizonas or Carolina on next Thursday night, or this upcoming Thursday night, or when you play the Falcons. So I'm sure they'll tighten that up in terms of Coach Allen be working on that. But they're making great strides, and very proud of what this defense is doing, considering the amount of injuries they had. So great job overall defense and your improvement. On special teams, nothing to say there really much. Will made his 2 field goal kicks. Morstead, the limited punting he did, he's just playing all-pro. However, the Saints kickoff return yardage, that is a little bit discouraging, because they were giving up 35 yards, 36 yards. I was not happy with the special teams in terms of the amount of yardage they were giving off to the 49ers on returning kickoffs. I would like to see Lux put that ball at least 7-8 yards deep, not 3 yards deep or at the 1 and some of those things. I know San Francisco is a difficult place to kick, so, and the Saints have kind of a revolving door with their special teams, since Dixon is on the practice squad, McClain got cut, and John Jenkins, he wasn't on the practice squad, but he got cut also. So, and they signed a couple of other players. So let's just hope that in the dome he can put it straight through the uprights way well back there, because the Saints special teams. I would like to see Marcus Murphy play. Coach Payton, please play Marcus Murphy. You're not getting much. Tommy Lewis was inactive. You cannot have Giles Bird and Tavares Cadet back there. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
You've got to put some playmakers. If you're not going to play Murphy, you have to play Tyler Lewis because there's no hope with those other guys. And you're going to need some special team success in some of these games. So I need them to make a much more wiser decision on who they have back that return their kickoff.
You know
Nothing
what was
against
concerning?
Cadet, nice guy and a good, solid, average performer player, but we're not getting nothing there too much from Cadet in the passing game, nor the kickoff. So let's just go ahead, if we can, play, because I know it depends on special teams players.
Yeah.
Lewis and Murphy, if possible. I just would like to see Murphy in the passing game or back there. I don't know why I keep asking for it, but because I just think there's still something there, and I don't think the Saints are tapping into Marcus Murphy fairly. That's just me.
Yeah.
You give Mark Ingram another chance, you need to give Marcus Murphy another chance.
Amen.
You have to be fair with all of your players.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel. Coach Payton and New Orleans Saints organization that's listening to this brother. You must be fair. He did not fumble in any games this year. He did not fumble in the preseason, and next thing you know, he's just been put on the bench. That's not fair. That's not fair.
It's kind of perplexing because you have such a great young talent in this kid, man. And you see some talent in Lewis as well. But on Sunday, man, Cadet really concerned me because taking 4 kickoffs back, right? The longest run he had was just 20 yards. So that means you put your team right on the 20-yard line and you gave up 5 yards. You could have just downed the ball in the end zone if that was the case. And you would have given your team an extra 5 yards, right? And that means those other runs, he was just averaging 14 yards a pop. So what I was concerned was it was the field advantage. He was giving us possessions at the 18, the 16, and that's not how you want to start drives, So I don't know. I really think I have to echo what you're saying, man. Marcus Murphy was averaging 25 yards at least when he took it out. So that means he at least got back to the line of scrimmage if he would have downed the ball. But Cadet is way below that average.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they will play him. So special teams unit coach McMahon and Coach Payton, it's time to make an adjustment because you're going to need all hands on deck. But if you are planning to make a run with these remaining 8 games. So we'll keep an eye on that to see what happens. Hey, guys, you guys are aware of our Thanks News app? If you have not downloaded it, Who Dat Nation, please go out to your Google Play stores and your Apple stores, your app stores, and go out there and get the Thanks News app for all your comprehensive New Orleans Thanks News and everything all in one app. Great app, and you can have your information regarding your things right at your fingertip disposal wherever you go and carrying your mobile devices or your tablets. So check us out and go out there and download the Thanks News app. Also, don't forget, on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, don't forget to check out the Who Dat Confession with Rev and Brian. Don't forget, at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, check out Thanks News Radio on Wednesday. Thursday nights, Coach Rick will be back with us after the playoffs, and he'll be broadcasting usually at 8 Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Or you can always go to the website and check out the podcast. And our websites are thanksnewsradio.com and thanksnews.net. You can find us on Facebook at Thanks News, and you can find us on Twitter at Thanks News, and all of the other social media platforms. Just check us out at Thanks News. Okay, so check us out, hit us up, let us know what you don't like, what you do like. All we ask is that you be respectful and polite. We don't reply back to negative or just cussing or any of that stuff. You won't get any response from me, at all. So just be respectful and be professional, and we'll discuss some football. But what you think is going on with things, who you think needs to improve. We don't do all of the foolishness that goes on with social media. I can tell you that right now. So just send us your comments. What you like, what you don't like about the team, what's going on, and we can have a good discussion.
Yep.
And on Friday night, I'm always right here. Me and Brendan are